Hello there, dear YouTubers. My name is King1993. Yeah, and today I'll be talking about another character. And this character I have gotten yesterday. I have played her multiple times to get an idea of how to use this character. And this character is called Eika. Eika is a cross member or scissor member, and she is basically a shotgun user. Now, despite being a shotgun user, she is actually better in her mid-range and short range compared to this guy. This guy is actually good in multiple places, but you need to adjust his skill multiple time, and it is gonna be a lot more frustrating than anyone thinks. Compared to this guy here, Baimo, this character here, which is called Eka, is actually very good in that regards. Although in terms of her active and ultimate skill, it is actually not very good. Her ultimate skill is good. Like if the developer were to turn this ultimate skill into the active skill, it would have been better, because the active skill is not very good. Like the fire gets stuck in one place. You'll eventually see what I mean. Okay, so obviously as a shotgunner, normally the question image is, okay, how is she gonna perform? She performed well in terms of annoying the enemy. Allow me to explain. So let's say I increase the speed. So if you want to annoy the enemy, like give them a false sense of danger, then select this increase a bullet, and then as you are near the enemy, shoot them. They will not take massive damage, but also at the same time, once they get hit by this character, the what will happen is the enemy will try to hide. It will give your teammates enough time for them to react while the enemy is trying to hide. It is very good for annoying people, and while you select that mode, you will get that mode by default look. So you will get this spread option by default, and if you were to increase this, it will benefit you even further. The thing is, whatever you do, it doesn't matter single shot mode or this shot mode, always use sprint and not spread control, because when you are increasing the pallet amount, okay, here this pallet amount was 9, now it is 12. If you are trying to go for this pallet mode, then don't go for spread control, and if you are using this, maybe only then use spread control for continuous shooting. Okay, if you use this single shot mode, then only then use spread control, otherwise don't. Okay, so the question remains is, how much damage does she do? Okay, let's check. 646. And if I were to use this mode here, it increases the overall damage output. 680, not that much. But each of them are good for two different reasons. For example, for escort mission and for the demolition mission, go with the increased bullet. And if you are in a team deathmatch of 3 or versus 3 or 7 versus 7, use this. Okay, so for this I'll not select anything. I only select the sprint. Okay, now you might be thinking, what the heck am I talking about? Well, allow me to explain. If you use increase bullet, don't use spread control, use sprint. And if you use single shot mode, okay, you will be in the mid range or in the short range. Your aim will automatically be fine, which is why don't use spread control, use sprint. Now, once this is done, the second thing that you should be understanding is the reload. It takes about 3 seconds to reload, but if you increase the reloads, this will basically turn the 3 second into 2 second. So in this case, if the reload rate is overall low, I would just select magazine capacity here. It will basically increase from 17 to 21, 5 more. Okay, now normally I don't do this. Normally I say go for reload, but this is an exception because this is a shotgunner tend to be a little bit different than a submachine gun or assault rifle, which is why I have selected this. Effective range, use effective range because it will make the mid-range enemies take more damage within this area. And then if you want to annoy the enemy, use the increased bullet, or if you want to go for DPS, go for the single shot mode. Okay, so basically speaking, these come later, these come before. Like which one are you trying to go for, and then afterwards you can select this later. Okay, now what happens in a single shot mode? In a single shot mode, your accuracy increases. You can shoot the long distance enemy, but don't try to go for it all the time, because the amount of damage this character can do within the long range is a lot lower compared to this Paimo character, who can do enemy kill within 2 shot in the long range. So it is completely different. Don't use this character for long range. Okay, now after that is done, the question means is, okay, what about her active skill? So her active skill produces a barrier, a fire barrier, and anyone that enters the barrier and then exits the barrier will take damage. While they are in the barrier, they won't take any damage, or they will only take damage when they are outside the barrier. So while they are in the barrier, they won't take any damage. What will happen is, when the barrier is active, it will take less hit for this character to reach her maximum potential, and she will basically do a little bit more damage. For example, 42. Okay. Okay, 42. Like, when does this go out and what happens, I do not know. Let me check. So this is her passive. Okay, let's see. So at her passive, what happens is her overall damage increases when the enemy turns into paper. So if the enemies turn to paper, they will take more damage from the enemy, while this uh, lower bar is basically active. Okay, and it increases a lot faster if you use the skill, this active skill. Okay, the question remains is, how does this active skill works? So if the enemies are outside of the barrier, it will basically automatically turn off, but if the enemies are inside this barrier, it will remain for a certain period of time, and that's basically how it works. Now the question remains is, okay, what can we do? We can either use it a lot more often. For example, it takes 25 seconds when you use this ability, but you can lower it by 5 seconds, it will become 20 seconds. Okay, and in case if you're wondering, okay, I want these to stay active for a longer period of time, then click duration. It will stay active for a longer period of time. In this case, 20 seconds is still a lot, so you'd rather want to use this and let it stay active for a longer period of time. So which is why I would suggest that you increase the duration. So that's basically it. Now let's talk about the X factor, or the ultimate. So ultimate basically give this character 3 fire tornado. And where should you use this fire tornado? You should use this fire tornado in escort mission or in demolition mode. By default, you should be able to use this ability there, but not in any other places like team deathmatch or uh, 7 versus 7. You can't use this ability. So while you are in a demolition mode or escort mission, you can use it. How? Let's say in the escort mode, the bus is moving. Okay, and you are obviously on the enemy side, because this character is on the rebel side, the red side, and the enemies are basically the blue side. So once the blue side appears, what should you do? If they are too near the bus and they are stopping the bus from progressing, you shoot them. And doing so, while the enemies are in the sky, you basically shoot them again till they are dead. Now you can use this ability up to 3 times, so use it carefully, and it doesn't appear all the time. It appears only a certain amount of time. Also, you can use this to annoy the enemy. How? While they are trying to go near the bus to prevent it from moving forward, you can basically shoot there and let your teammates take care of the enemy while they are in the air. And that's basically how it goes. Hello. Okay, so that's basically how this character's ultimate work. Now in terms of her grenade type, the grenade type, I highly suggest that you use the windstorm grenade and the frag grenade, because truth to be told, she is one of those type where she can use almost any type of uh, bomb here. It doesn't matter. Rather, if you want to do a surprise attack, okay, I would suggest that you go for this windstorm grenade and this smoke bomb. By doing so, what will happen is the shotgunner are basically very good at short range. So once you use the smoke bomb, go near the enemy and shoot them, and they should be dead within a very short period of time. So I suggest that you go and use the smoke bomb and the windstorm grenade by default. It is my recommendation. It can differ from person to person. So don't hang up on the idea that it is 100% accurate. No, it changes from person to person perspective of how to use a certain thing. So this is how basically this character works. Now let's move on. Did I miss anything? No, I don't think I missed anything. So let's move on and talk about this character overall clothing materials. So when it comes to the clothing materials, her normal cloth is actually fine. No need for anything here. The question remains is, what about her alternate? Her alternate is also fine. Okay. This one is called After School Rebel. I do not know why. Oh, okay. I didn't even read this. Now that I read it, After School Rebel, what the heck? So basically speaking, she would rather stay out of school. Okay. Eika self-styled outdoor gear showcase bold and edgy fashion that embodies wild spirit of a high school girl. Exactly where she lets loose after school is her little secret. Okay. The day of a high school student only beings after school. Okay. Okay, I guess despite her clothing, I think she has a standard moral, which is good. Now, this one is basically an Egyptian type of clothing material, because you'll know once you see the gun name. Overall, like, all of the clothing are fine. Maybe this one looks a bit stupid, but after reading this, you will understand. Nah, it's fine, I guess. She understands what she is doing. Okay, now weapon skin. Now, truth to be told, this is something that by default it looks very good. I would not argue with this. By default, this whole design is good. I do not like this one because I do not like the concept of abstract art, something like this. So I do not like this one. It's incomplete. It always looks incomplete. Why is there only blue here? Why is there dark blue here? Why? Compared to this one looks better. It covers the whole thing. It give a perspective of how this weapon should be looking like. Now this is basically the Arabian Nights, so you can probably guess why I said that this goes with this character in the Egyptian dancer, because this is basically what this theme is, Egyptian. This is something like this looks better than this, so I would always select this over this. This one also looks good, like a brown type of weapon, or maybe desert type. Desert as in not food, desert as in dry land. This is a summer beach color, which is still fine because it matches the theme. This is basically Raiden Shogun color from Genshin Impact. Raiden Shogun from Genshin Impact, search it. This is another abstract color. This one looks more like a art mistake. So no, I do not like this. And this is camo. Camo wise, like even in camo, it makes sense of putting random color here and there. It actually causes a camo effect, but this one here doesn't. It looks like a sport vibe, but it's incomplete sport vibe. So overall, this is my conclusion on the aesthetic. So overall, this character, in terms of her ability, her active skill is not that much useful compared to her ultimate, and her passive skill is only useful if you are trying to shoot paper majority of the time, which is not gonna happen. But at least the active skill at least still do some damage compared to this one here. The bear with her is totally useless. The bear, if the bear had done some damage, I would say okay, the bear does some damage, good. But no, the bear doesn't do any damage. The bear only makes the enemy fly in the sky, and it causes the floor to become slippery. Like really, you want us to accept that is how this character work? Compared to this one is far better. Like I got MVP using this character a lot more than I got MVP using this character. I got rarely MVP with this character. Like if I were to go to the career ranking, okay, or leaderboard or something, and see each character by their ability. So let's see how many did I win. Okay, where is mine? Okay, I cannot see mine. Okay, let's see. What is my ID? Okay, yeah. Mm, okay, I can see nothing. Anyway, so I did do a match. Okay, let's check here. So overall, I got MVP using this, and yesterday I also got MVP using this character. But I rarely get MVP using EVT. Like you can probably guess what happened. So to get MVP in this game mode is a lot harder than anyone can think. Okay, maybe I got used to it. That is a completely different topic. But overall, this character performs far better. This character performs far better than EVT in terms of her active skill, because even though her active skill is not that much useful, but her other capability makes her better on annoying the enemies and making the enemies take massive damage. Okay, so overall, if you like this video regarding this character called Eika, who is a cross member, you will be only using her on the rebel site, nowhere else. So if you like this video, then please give a like and subscribe and click the bell notification icons to get more of this type of topic on a regular basis. Thank you and see you again next time.